It's another Wednesday, and thank you for joining me on a new episode of the Women Series program where we capture developments and stories that impact women. I am Ayomide Oguntoye. Last week, we started our conversation on the financial technology, the adoption of emerging technology in the financial space and how it concerns us. We started off with DeFi, that's for short, decentralized finance. Today, we want to look at NFTs, that's the non-fungible tokens, the most talked about thing in the technology space right now. And as a way of introduction, are you even aware that NFT was launched in 2014? Yes, in 2014, as far back as 2014. And according to Finder, in 2021, since its adoption, 13.7% of Nigerian internet users own a non-fungible token, with more men than women owning one. So now here's my question. Why do we have more men than women? So women, what are we using our money to do? What are we using our money to buy? This, of course, is stemming majorly from the economic instability and continuous search for ways to stay above inflation, one of which is, of course, the acquisition of digital assets where the NFT falls into. But beyond the acquisition of these assets, what more do we need to know? And how can we be protected around the digital assets ecosystem? Well, I do not have questions for that, but joining me today to answer these questions and more is OreOluwa Ajayi. OreOluwa is an NFT specialist, and I'll probably just leave her to talk to us about what she does, because she has like a long profile. Well, hello, Ore. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. You have a long profile. When I saw your profile, it was quite commendable. I'm like, yeah, I'm impressed that women are actually doing great in the tech space. Could you talk to us more about exactly what you do?
Okay, so basically, I started off as a writer. Like basic, that's content creating. That's just drafting out templates for businesses, like just basic copywriting for marketing and all of that for the normal brands and companies that you see around today. So then from there, my longtime friend, partner technically, he wanted to bring me into his niche, and that was basically cryptocurrencies. And okay, I came in from far back in 2019 when I stumbled on Forsage. So Forsage as of then was like an affiliate marketing platform. So when you say my profile was a bit lengthy, it was because I stumbled into a lot of things before I got into NFTs. So I first did affiliate marketing, digital marketing, I did writing, from trying to get into Forsage. So Forsage as of then was an affiliate marketing platform that it had this thing whereby when you bring people into Ethereum, you get rewarded into Ethereum. They structured it in a very, very nice way, actually. So from there, obviously, if you want to market about something, you have to know about that thing. It's like, oh, you're trying to tell me to buy a phone, and you can't tell me the features of the phone.
Yeah.
I won't be interested in it. So you can imagine me, I think 2020, oh yeah, that was COVID. So I had a lot of hands on I had a lot of time rather on my hands. So I was reading, my mom looked at me one day, I was like, what's going on? Why are you having overnights? Like school is not even in session. So I was literally having overnights trying to read, trying to understand what this tech was. And from someone like me that, trust me, everything tech before I would run. If you just mention Microsoft Word or something, I just wasn't, in line with that. So, after moving forward from 2020, trying to understand what cryptocurrencies was, then I got into this community of crypto traders, forex traders, and from there we're able to arrange ourselves to pay for a technical analysis class. I don't know if you had a session on DeFi last week. That means I don't know if at some point the speaker would have mentioned something about technical analysis. It has to do with basically everybody uses. I think bankers even use it. So it's a way of there are metrics basically used to not predict per se, but check the markets to know what price is saying, what price will be heading to next, all those kind of things. So we learned TA. From there. I was trying so hard to find my place in this space. Then I found myself in an academy called Nirvana. So basically, what they do is teach people about DeFi, everything about Web3. So when we Web3, we are categorizing metaverse. The metaverse, we're categorizing everything that has to do with the virtual world, play to earn, NFTs, DeFi, crypto. So everything falls under Web3. So that's like the internet. We call it the internet of the digital assets. So basically, I started teaching. I started creating content for them. So Nirvana is a Web3 company, not a Web2 company. So Web2 companies these days are Facebook, Instagram, those are Web2 companies. So for, Web3 companies are companies like Nirvana, companies that basically are focused, are dedicated to the growth of the Web3 space and, onboarding people into the Web3 space. So from there, I became a professional content creator. Then then NFTs started popping up last year. In my mind, I'm like, no, and like you said, NFTs have been created since like way back in 2014.
Yep.
And I was just getting like whiff of it in just last year. And I think I minted my very first NFT in February. So I was trying to first get a hang of it, try to really understand everything about it. So
I mean, you've given us like a lengthy introduction as to who you are and what you do regarding NFTs, and it's quite interesting. Maybe as we go along the line, you probably have to like chip in into the other things that you do. But let's start off with what exactly do we need to know when it comes to NFT? I know that NFT is a non-fungible token. I kind of have an idea of what it is, but I mean, for the sake of people that do not have an idea of what it means and what this space is all about. So what do we need to know? I mean, when we hear about the amazing things we can do with NFTs, but beyond the amazing things we can also hear or we're hearing about it, are there risks involved?
Okay, so from what you just said, I think I can get like two questions. So first of all, what are NFTs for, people that are probably just watching this for the first time?
Yeah.
And the risks involved in NFTs. So, okay, I think I'll need like a pictorial example. Okay, let me use this. So this is a body spray, basically. So I think I got this for like 1,003.
Okay.
When you say something is fungible, it means that it can be exchanged with something of the same intrinsic value. Mm-hmm. Like they both have the same, there is a standard for it, you get. So this in the markets can be 1.3, basically. It can be 1.3, it can be 1.4. That's basically the range, you get. last, it's gonna be like 1.5, you get. So, but this is fungible. This is a fungible asset. Mm-hmm. But when you say Bitcoin is a fungible asset, 1 Bitcoin equals to 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin right now, I've not checked this morning, but I think it's around 20K, 22K range, $22K range, 20K, $22K range. 1 Bitcoin equals to 20. If I take $22,000 now to the market, I should be able to acquire 1 Bitcoin. That's what fungibility means. So there is a standard for it. There is a placed price for it. But NFTs, on the other hand, the best way I like explaining NFTs to people is I am an NFT. You can't replace me with somebody else. Nobody is like me. No, like, fine, somebody else might be dark, somebody else might be short or something, but you cannot replace somebody else with me. So basically, NFTs are basically those assets that they are very, very unique. They are irreplaceable. You can't exchange one with another. You can't say that, oh, this is my NFT. I want to exchange my NFT with your NFT. It's not possible because the best way we like to see NFTs is value. Value is very, very relative. So I can see a bag and I'm like an LV bag, and I'm like, oh, I love this bag a lot. I would really like to buy it. Even if the bag is like $2 million, 2 million naira. Mm-hmm. And somebody else will sit and be like, why not just buy normal Akube? Just buy all these second-hand use. You can just buy, Zara or something, you can get that for like 15K. But I'm like, no, I want this instead. So what I see as valuable, you might not see as valuable. So basically, NFTs always boil down to the relativity of value. But at the same time, NFTs are one of ones. They cannot be exchanged with another. So basically, I think that's a plausible explanation for NFTs. So when you're talking about the risks involved with NFTs, so the first one, like every other digital asset or financial asset, is securities. So if you are having an NFT that is worth, just right now, a CryptoPunk is worth about, I think, 44 Ethereum, and one Ethereum right now is $1,600 plus. So you're looking at like, that's a lot of money. That's $200,000 plus. So that's a lot of money. And some people own like 2, 4, like 10 of this. There are wallets that you can keep your NFTs in. But trust me, if I'm walking around, the wallets, some wallets are physical. So that means you can just transfer your NFTs in it and just drop like a flash drive. You can just drop it at home. And some people choose to, leave it in their phones because they are mobile wallets as well. But either ways, whether I leave it at home or it's in my phone and I'm carrying it around, I don't know about you, but I will have I don't know, like the old barracks following me every single day, everywhere I go to, because I will even feel safe, honestly speaking. So security is definitely one of the risks. Security is definitely one of the issues. Just, I think 4 days ago, there was an hack on Solana. Solana is one of the top blockchains in the Web3 crypto space right now. And there was it was global. So, and the hacker was able to go away with about $7 million plus. And we're talking both Solana tokens and every wallet that was in a Solana, and every NFT that was in a Solana wallet. So if you add one of all these top NFTs on Solana, that's like a D-Gods or a Solana Monkey Business, that's SMB, and those ones are worth like 300 Sol, and 300 to 50 Sol, and Solana right now is like $40. So 300 times 40, that's a lot of money. So you're seeing a lot of people losing hundreds, thousands of their NFTs on just that evening, just that night. I think it was about Nigerian time. It was about 11 p.m., 12 a.m. thereabouts. And my friends had to be calling one another that, oh, please, transfer all your assets to Binance, do this, do that. Everything that you have that is on Solana, swap it, move it out. So I'm very, very sure that security is still one of the issues that is embattling every financial, every digital space. That's one. Two, has to be wash trading. So wash trading is a situation whereby, now I might have to do a whole lecture on NFTs, but I'm trying to cut it short. So there are cases whereby, this is the basic thing. You can increase the floor price. That means the value, the basic value of an NFT is called a floor price. So there can be okay, let's just say this is an NFT again. Okay. But there can be 50 of this made, but each one would be different from the other one. Let's say they are different, would I say flavors or scents? Yes. So let's say that each one is different from the other one. So, but there are 50 of it, but one cannot be swapped for the other, the basic NFT. So in that sense, if I say that, oh, okay, I own this, then I own 5 others. But people don't know that I own the other 5. But let's say that one of this is worth 1 Ethereum. That's about $1,600. But I want to increase that value. Like I said, the floor price is, the base price that everybody says that, they can buy this NFT. I can choose to put my own on the marketplace for 10 Ethereum and somebody will buy it just because mine is different from the other person's own. I can choose to put mine for 50 Ethereum and somebody just might buy it. But the floor price, the basic price, the lowest price you can get one is 1 Ethereum. Do you get? So I'm like, oh, that 1 Ethereum is too low. I want to increase the floor price personally. So let's say I buy, or yes, let's say the five other NFTs that I own. Nobody owns that. People don't know that I own those. So let's just say I start buying and selling them from one wallet to another. Like I'm swapping them from one wallet to another. Do you get? So
Yeah.
basically, by the time I say that, oh, the floor price is 1 Ethereum, yeah, but I put this one on the marketplace and I sell it for 3 Ethereum, but I'm the one buying it to my other wallets. Then I do that, multiple times with other NFTs, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Before you know, you set the floor price to 3 Ethereum. So that's wash trading, basically. And it can be risky because some people do it because they want to, once they buy, fine, yes, it's my capital. I'm using a lot of money to do that. But when you do this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with like 2-3 NFTs, price goes to about 6 Ethereum. Obviously, people watch the floor prices of their NFTs, and people are like, why is this thing going higher? Let me sell my own, or let me list my own. Unknowing to you, you are falling into the trap of somebody that just wants to buy your NFT, so that when a lot of people come, and they say that, the floor price is now 4 Ethereum, 6 Ethereum, then the person will be able to take that chance to list all the NFTs he has bought at a very high price. I'm not sure I don't know if you understand what I just said.
I understand, but I think it's getting technical. But I think when we go along the line, we'll be able to explain
Along the
more.
line,
Exactly. We'll be able to explain more
Actually,
to that. I mean, you've talked on value, you've touched on securities, which of course I'm going to ask. And of course, you've talked on regulations, of course, which leads me to my next question in terms of value. What determines the value of NFTs? The fact that it is non-fungible makes it, I mean, it's supposed to have like value in that regard. But what determines the value of NFT? Who are the people that determine the value of these NFTs? Are they regular? I mean, in that space, what exactly happens? How do we get a value for one particular NFTs if it is called non-fungible?
okay, so basically, like everything in life, human beings determine it.
Yeah.
What makes it valuable? I've asked a lot of my friends over and over again. I've read a lot of economics book. I've gone through a lot of theories, but nobody can pinpoint why we said money is money. Do you get? So at the end of the day, human beings are the ones that set these rules for themselves. So for NFTs, it's the same thing. The community determines the value. The community determines the floor price. I can remember there was a time whereby a founder of an NFT project was like, he wants to exit the project. He wants to leave. That, he just wants to leave. Like, he's just gonna go. Then, and it was, I can't remember the name, but the floor price of the NFT as at then was about, I think 9 Ethereum. When the founder announced that it was going off the project, I think the floor price went to 2 Ethereum. So imagine holding an asset. You sleep, you left your asset at 9 Ethereum. You wake up, founder says it's gone. And before you know, floor price is at 2 Ethereum. If it was in the normal Web2 world, if Elon Musk today says that, is leaving Tesla or something, the SEC will make, that's Securities Exchange Commission, they will make sure that they'll probably do everything in their power to make sure that, the stock prices, everything that has to do with investors in Tesla, their interest to be protected. Obviously, their monies will be protected. But for NFTs, nobody's really, there's no safe net. Nobody's really safeguarding that. But what amazed me was the fact that the floor price went from 9 Ethereum to 2 Ethereum. Then I just pop on Twitter in the evening, and I just saw that, I just saw the Twitter space, Azuki Twitter space, and basically the community, the people in the community, people that owned NFTs in that community, opened the Twitter space, and they were discussing about the project, even with the founder that has gone. Before I knew it, the floor price went back to 15 Ethereum in 2 days' time. So basically, people were buying them back.
So in other words, you're saying that it is determined by the people in the community. The value is
Exactly.
determined by the people.
Everything is determined by
people in the
if
community.
today, everything is determined by people and investors. Investors are not just people. Investors are people with money. I can just say people, but somebody that just has $200 in his or her portfolio cannot just say that, oh, I want to go and buy an NFT off a marketplace. So obviously, it's definitely always investors or people with passion in the community, people that are very, very interested in whatever the project is building.
Okay, so let me quickly cut you on that before we go on. I mean, speaking on security, you touched on the fact that if an NFT or in the digital space is stolen, or probably the system was hacked or something, who takes the responsibility of the stolen NFTs? And that's one. Hold on that. And there is also the case of ownership, which also speaks to security with NFTs in terms of intellectual property. How does this system operate? How does the whole Web3 operate such that it helps to solve the issue of copywriting or probably intellectual property theft, such that my property is protected and nobody, intrudes or steals my property in that regard?
Okay, so like I said, there is actually nobody regulating the NFT space at the moment. For crypto, a little bit, yes, they are trying to issue some bills and all. But for NFTs, the government haven't really, looked into us yet. So when money is stolen, when NFTs are stolen, I'll be very sincere. There is literally nobody, no parastatal I can point to say that, oh, they are the ones that will be charged with the duty of looking for who acted it, looking for, except people in the community willingly go and pay for, let's say, an investigator or, somebody to, actually find out what happened. Do you get? And then they try to get the person arrested. Because I remember there was a time where OpenSea is a marketplace on Ethereum. One of their workers was accused of was trading, what I mentioned the other time, that was selling NFTs and buying. And one of their workers was accused of doing that, and he got 20 years. Like, so people found out and they kept on pressuring OpenSea to, take action. So everything boils down within the NFT community. We are like our own little world. We are our own police. We are our own government. Our own. So basically, everything boils down to the NFT community. If our voice is loud enough, if if it gets to us enough. And how does it get to us? Twitter Spaces, basically. If we keep on pressing the necks of the people that, we know that, something is wrong with you people's community, like fix up, do something. But at the same time, if they don't do anything, you can't really hold them. I don't know how to put it. Like, you can't really say that, okay, except you want to boycott using their platforms, except you want to do that. And it has to be a collective effort. Do you get? And OpenSea is basically, for me, is like the largest marketplace at the moment on Ethereum, on a lot of blockchains. So OpenSea is like the New York Stock Exchange. Do you get? So everybody wants to list their NFTs there, and everybody wants their collection on OpenSea. So boycott OpenSea would have been very hard. So probably OpenSea is a Web3 company, so they probably understood the risks that could have come out of it. If some people in power, because trust me, if I'm owning NFTs worth 20, 30, $100,000, that means I probably can pull one or two strings in the political, sphere. So they'll probably not want all that attention on them at the moment. So they probably just had to, take the step. But as of now, there isn't really a regulatory body.
I was going to ask about the regulations, but I mean, you've made it crystal clear that there is no regulation around the space, and it speaks to the fact that there is a need for regulation in that space, such that everybody is protected, your property is protected, because it's a virtual space, and it's not something you can hold on to. So if it is not protected, if there are no regulations, I mean, the fact that the market is growing on daily basis speaks to the fact that it's important that we have regulations, and we have regulators work towards having regulations in that regard. We've talked about the use cases for NFTs, and I know that one major use case, or two major use cases, are for artists. Those are painters, and then artists, of course, singers and musicians. Are there other use cases for NFTs? I mean, just answer this question in like 1 minute.
Oh, definitely, there are a lot of use cases for NFTs. I don't know if you're married, but your marriage certificate can be made into an NFT.
Wow.
Instead of the physical ring,
Really?
your fiancé or something can just can just tell an artist to make a virtual ring for you, and it will just put it in your name and it will be in your wallet. So that is your wedding ring. So if somebody asks one day, your wedding ring is gone or something. But definitely, I find it amazing, actually. So
that's quite amazing. I'm hearing that for the first time.
Actually, real estate wise, I don't know if you guys know, but I think there was a section on OpenSea one time where agents in the abroad, of course, in America, they were taking pictures of houses and they were placing the picture on OpenSea. So whoever buys that picture has technically bought the rights for the house. So all you have to do, immediately you are buying it, immediately you click on the buy offer. Once one person buys it, that's it. The person is the owner. So if I saw one time, I think the house was worth about $500,000. They had a pool. There were pictures. It looked like a gallery. It looked like you are shopping for a home. So, the moment you click on the buy offer, there was a contract embedded in each in each what's it called? In each buy offer, whereby where what is called this thing? Papers of a home, that it has who owns it and all of that. So immediately you click on the buy offer, the smart contract already says that, oh, you are the new owner of this home. So all you have to do is, the agent will try to reach out to you, obviously. Then there is a chat box. There's a chat box. So the agent will try to reach out to you. Then, if you want to come and see the home properly and all of that. So the home is yours. See, NFTs are not just for the now. We are trying to look at NFTs for the future. So your passport right now that you're using to travel, what if you add just one NFT? What if you add just one NFT to represent your NIN, your birth certificate? Like if you're trying to register for something, you don't have to be pulling up papers everywhere. Oh, this paper. Exactly. Identity. That's why I said that one NFT cannot be interchanged for the other one. That means if you can exchange NFTs, that means you can exchange identities. And I don't think your name is Ayomide. I don't think I can pop up and say that, oh, I am you. I can't just pop up at your office one day and say that I am you. But the moment I am able to have your NFT, I'll be able to tell people that, yes, I am you. But that's not possible because obviously to be synced with your DNA, all those kind of, things. So DNA, now let me say the medical aspect of NFTs. So NFTs can be very, very useful in the medical world in the sense that it can be used to keep what's it called? Details of patients on chain. So you don't have to, when you get to an hospital, you don't have to start asking, oh, what's your weight? What's your this? What's your that? So basically, the NFT will have
in the virtual space.
Yeah, everything will be embedded in the virtual space. And I don't know if you guys have heard of the metaverse, but NFTs NFTs are very, very. If you follow Snoop Dogg a lot, you know that he has his own metaverse. So NFTs are very, very applicable in that sense. Like NFTs have gotten to the point whereby Nike, Fendi, all Versace, they are having NFT versions of clothes. So you can buy, they're called wearables. So you can buy an NFT version of a Nike shoe, an NFT version of a Nike dress. That means in the metaverse, your NFT will be wearing Nike clothes. Do you get me? So
I mean, it's very, very interesting to hear. I mean, hearing all of these things and what we can do in the virtual space. I'm hoping that next week or next edition, we'll be able to talk about the metaverse as well. So all you just explained now speaks to the fact that we can't do everything we're doing physically in the virtual space. All we just need right now is that the space is regulated such that your property is safe and you are also safe.
And people have to understand the space. You don't just, I have a lot of friends that, once they hear that, I bought, I minted and it, like, that means I bought it for, let's say, $100. And before I know, I flipped it, that means I sold it on a marketplace for like $1,000, $1,500. They're like, that basically, I can make somebody's annual salary. I'm sorry, yes. Annual in like a week. Do you get? Because I have friends flipping hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly. So once they hear that, they think it's easy, but it sounds easy. Everything I'm saying right now sounds easy, but there are losses. Just like any financial assets, even stocks have their issues. Forex has its own too. So, but the bottom line of everything is knowledge. Just like when I said I was getting into Forsage, I had to understand the space first. So definitely for anybody that wants to get into NFTs, into crypto, into DeFi, knowledge is key. To know is to be free. So you have to know things before you say that, you want to delve into it, because I won't tell anybody sorry when you start losing $500. So
that's not good. That's not good. Thank you very much, Ore. I mean, you've been able to explicitly explain what the NFTs are all about and then what happens in that space. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you so very much. I would definitely love to do this another time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I was going to shout, I love you, but yes, I really do love you. And that will be all on today's episode of the Women Series. Let's keep the conversation going. You can do that by sharing your thoughts with us via the social media platforms showing on the screen right now. You can also log on to our website at www.proshare.co to get updates on the financial market. Until next time, just like Ore said, hopefully we'll get to chat more on the emerging technology, and I'm looking forward to talking about the metaverse. Thank you for watching.